Ever feel like you're always trying to level up your health?
Yeah.
You know, but life's already pretty full.
Yeah, totally. I get that.
Well, today we're diving deep into something super popular that might just be that missing piece, intermittent fasting.
Absolutely.
We're going to break it down simple and clear benefits, risks, and how to actually do it without getting lost in the weeds. No crazy details, just the good stuff. So we've got a ton of research on IF from ancient times to modern science, and our goal isn't to tell you what to think.
Right.
It's to give you the knowledge to decide for yourself.
Exactly.
We're all about clear, concise insights. But first things first, what exactly is intermittent fasting, and why is everyone suddenly talking about it?
Well, at its core, IF is about when you eat, not so much what you eat. It's all about cycling between eating and fasting windows.
Okay, so it's less about counting every calorie and more about timing. What are some of the most popular ways to actually do this IF thing?
So the most common one you've probably heard of is the 168 method. You fast for 16 hours, and then you have an 8-hour window to eat.
Gotcha. 16 hours, no food,
Yep.
8 hours to fuel up. Simple enough. What else?
Then there's the 5.2 method. You eat normally for 5 days a week, and then for 2 non-consecutive days, you really cut back on calories to about 500 to 600.
So it's like 2 mini fast days sprinkled throughout the week. Interesting.
Yeah.
What are some other methods?
You've also got Eat, Stop, Eat, which is a full 24-hour fast once or twice a week. Then there's alternate day fasting, where you basically fast every other day, sometimes with a tiny bit of food allowed. And then there's the warrior diet. That one's a bit different. Small amounts of raw fruits and veggies during the day, and then one big meal at night.
Wow. Okay, a lot of options, all playing with this idea of extended periods without food. What's fascinating is that this isn't some brand new trend. Fasting has a history that goes way back.
Absolutely.
What can you tell us about the historical and cultural side of fasting?
Well, it pops up all over the place throughout history and across different cultures and religions. Like, think about Ramadan in Islam, Lent in Christianity, or practices in Hinduism and Buddhism.
Yeah, it's definitely been around for a long time.
Yeah.
What about outside of religion?
Even back in ancient Greece and Rome, guys like Socrates and Hippocrates were big on the benefits of fasting. And, for a huge chunk of human history, not having food available all the time was just part of life.
Right.
So in a way, modern IF is like rediscovering something our bodies are already kind of wired for.
Totally makes sense. Okay, so we know it's got a long history, but what's the science behind it? What actually happens in our bodies when we fast that makes it so beneficial?
One of the biggest things is this metabolic switch.
All right.
Usually our bodies use glucose from food for energy, right?
Right.
But when we fast for like 12 hours or more, our insulin levels drop, and that signals our body to start burning stored fat for fuel instead. And that process is called ketosis.
Ah, ketosis. That's the holy grail for a lot of people trying to manage their weight.
Exactly. And it's not just about burning fat, it also makes your metabolism more flexible. It can easily switch between different fuel sources.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like training your body to be more adaptable. What about this? I keep seeing autophagy. What's the deal with that?
Autophagy is basically like spring cleaning for your cells.
Okay, I like that.
When you fast, your cells get rid of all the damaged parts and recycle them. This is thought to have a bunch of benefits like potentially lowering the risk of brain diseases and keeping your cells healthy overall.
It's like a cellular tune-up while you're fasting.
Exactly.
Fascinating. What about hormones? Do those change when we fast?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Several key hormones are affected. Insulin levels go down, which helps with fat loss and makes you more sensitive to insulin. Human growth hormone, or HGH, goes up a lot, which is great for building muscle and burning fat. And then norepinephrine also increases, which helps break down fat and can give your metabolism a little boost.
So lower insulin, higher growth hormone, more fat burning. It sounds like a pretty good hormonal cocktail.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Now, what about our brains? How does fasting affect those?
Well, fasting can stimulate the production of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. It's like fertilizer for your brain cells.
Okay.
It helps them grow and survive and potentially improves learning memory and even your ability to handle stress.
So not just a physical makeover, but a mental one too. Now let's get to the good stuff, the actual health benefits. What are some of the reasons someone might choose to try intermittent fasting?
Well, the big one is weight loss. And not just any weight loss, but losing fat and keeping your muscle, which is a huge win.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
What else? It can also do wonders for your heart health. Things like lowering blood pressure and improving your cholesterol levels.
Heart health, always a priority.
And it can be a real game changer for preventing and managing type 2 diabetes.
Really?
Yeah, it improves insulin sensitivity and helps keep your blood sugar in check.
That's amazing. Anything else?
Oh, and don't forget about inflammation. Fasting can actually help reduce those pesky inflammatory markers, which is key for preventing all sorts of chronic diseases. And get this, some early research even suggests that fasting could help you live longer thanks to those cellular repair processes we talked about.
Wow, seriously? Okay, so lots of potential benefits, but let's be real. Is intermittent fasting safe for everyone? Are there people who should avoid it or be extra careful?
That's a great question. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing. Pregnant or breastfeeding women should definitely talk to their doctor first.
Right.
Same goes for anyone with a history of eating disorders. And certain medical conditions might mean AVF isn't the bound fit. It's always smart to get personalized advice from a healthcare professional.
Absolutely, better safe than sorry. Now, what about muscle loss? A lot of people worry about losing muscle when they fast.
That's a common concern, but you can totally minimize that risk.
How?
Make sure you're getting enough protein during your eating windows and don't skip those strength training workouts.
So basically, eat your protein and lift those weights. Good to know. Now, I've also heard that women might experience fasting differently than men. What's the deal with that?
Women can be a bit more sensitive to fasting, especially those really long fasts.
Okay.
It can sometimes mess with their hormones. So for women, starting slow with shorter fasting periods and really tuning into how their body feels is super important.
Always listen to your body, right?
Exactly.
So for those of us who are intrigued and want to give intermittent fasting a shot, what's the best way to get started safely?
Start slow and gradual. Maybe begin with a 12-hour overnight fast and then slowly increase the fasting window as you feel comfortable.
Got it. Ease into it. What else?
And this is key, stay hydrated.
Right.
Water, herbal teas, black coffee, those are your best friends during fasting periods.
Stay hydrated, check. What about when it's time to break the fast?
Go for nutrient-rich whole foods. Give your body the good stuff.
Like what specifically?
Healthy fats like avocados, nuts, olive oil, lean protein sources like eggs, fish, chicken, and of course, load up on those fiber-rich veggies.
Sounds delicious and nutritious.
Oh.
Now, what are some common mistakes people make when they first start IF?
The biggest one is overeating during your eating window, thinking you have to make up for the fasting time.
Yeah, I can see how that would be tempting.
Resist that urge. Stick to normal portions. And ditch the processed junk. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods to really get the benefits. And most importantly, listen to your body. Don't push yourself to the point of misery.
So basically, eat mindfully, choose quality foods, and respect your body's limits.
Makes sense. So to wrap things up, what's the key takeaway here for our listeners about intermittent fasting?
The bottom line is intermittent fasting can be a powerful tool to improve your health in all sorts of ways, but it's not a magic bullet, and it's not for everyone. You've got to understand your own needs and maybe even talk to your doctor before diving in.
Couldn't agree more. So maybe after this deep dive, you're thinking about trying a longer overnight fast, or maybe you're inspired to tweak your eating schedule in a new way.
But whatever you do, remember, the most important thing is nourishing your body with good food during your eating times. And always, always listen to your body and adjust as you go.
Absolutely.
And never underestimate the power of the basics: hydration, sleep. Those are non-negotiables for good health, no matter what your eating pattern looks like.
And you know, this whole idea of intentionally timing our eating got me thinking about other things we do throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, could there be other time-based aspects of traditional practices that we've kind of forgotten about that might be really beneficial for us today? Maybe there's a whole world of wisdom out there about syncing our activities with natural rhythms that goes way beyond just food. What do you think?
I love that. It's like opening up a whole new way of thinking about our health.
Exactly. It's pretty exciting.
Food for thought, for sure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into intermittent fasting. We hope you learned something new and maybe even got a little inspired to experiment and see what works best for you. Remember, it's all about finding what makes you feel your best. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.